Okay, so this video will be a little bit longer, but for the maybe 300 gold or more per hour you can do as a Paladin, it's worth seeing it all since there's very specific steps to being able to do it, and I've already done all the trial and error for you guys, and I've even created some weak orders that help. As always, if you want to skip to the run or straight to the killing, the minutes are on the screen right now, and huge thanks to Arleos, whose videos literally inspired me to do the same thing, but on a Paladin. I'll leave his YouTube link on the description below. The first thing we need to talk is gear. So along with this video, I've also released a really short 3-minute video explaining, link again below, but basically after hours of testing, I found that at 400 defense, you are days immune versus mobs of level 60. That's the whole premise of this run, by the way. So that's also really the only requirement in terms of gear, other than minor speed on the boots as well. It's surprisingly easy to get. 5 out of 5 death bone, and then a weapon and a shield that you can swap in combat. That'll do with the ZG enchants. I don't even have it on the head. I'll leave a link in the description of the ideal gear set that you can do for this. Then it also helps a lot if you have Rammstein's Lightning Bolts and Chain Essence of Veronicus for the damage. And then after that you want MP5 as much as you can get, plate or not. Spell damage doesn't really matter, but you do need the epic mount in order to do this. So the next thing is talents. Sadly, you cannot do this with any spec, as my previous videos. You need to have 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5 in anticipation, and you need these points in Guardian's favor, so that you reach both 400 defense and you have quicker bobs for more consecration damage. The next thing you want is Holy Shock to pull some packs, and then Divine Favor and Improved Wisdom help with regen, and Consecration you needed to kill them. So let's talk Consumables. Again, sadly, you need to be an engineer for this. There's no other way. I reroll engineer for it. You need to stun the mobs after you finish pulling them, so you can run to the bridge. And if your specialization is Gnomish, it also helps because you can then use the trinket to teleport to Gadgetson, buy more Noggenfogger, and then Hearthstone back. Sometimes I do need to use limited invulnerability potions, and you will need 1 swim speed potion per run. It also helps to have Night Fiend soups, and for sure mana pots help a lot. Crystal charges also for the damage, and then that's it. You don't need to use Goblin Sappers or swiftness potions. Now, you might be wondering, what's this weak aura pack that I have here? Basically, I found it easier to have all of these things here. I didn't have binds for everything yet, and it was just easier to see my health, mana, cooldowns for invulnerabilities, and damage really close to just one place. All of the consumables / offensive stuff is glowing in the bottom, invulnerabilities in here. If you use one, it shows the timer in there, how long until it finishes, and you can click all of these weak auras as you just saw. I can just do like that. There's a little bit more to this weak aura, but I should tell you that I've done this on my own with a little bit of help from Discord, and there might be a few errors. I haven't really had any problems yet, but you might. So the other things it does is, if you're in combat and you don't have this Blessing of Wisdom, it's going to pop up, so that after you pop and stack the mobs, you remember to put Wisdom back up. If you're out of combat and you forget the food, it also tells you there. And then it has those 2 buttons in there, which basically, if you don't have the defense gear, oops, wrong weapon. If you don't have the defense gear equipped, it'll show this button saying defense gear, and you can click it and it instantly boosts the defense. Now, if you're in combat and you don't have the MP5 gear, that button shows. So this is so you can do the run, pull them with the defense gear at 400, and then when you get to the bridge, you swap to your MP5 gear on a quick, just one single click there. The more important thing of this is that if you do pull cubs, which I try to avoid pulling in this run, you want to see their health so that you know how much until they're about to die and they're going to run away, and you can prepare for it. So what I've done is, you can come into these custom options of the group, and you can change your weapons in here. MP5 weapon, MP5 shield, defense weapon, defense shield. That's how you change what you click on. But there's also this Zulian cub, and I'm going to put that troll's name in here. Kurubashi Axe Thrower. So what this weak aura does is, when you tap and target one of these guys, it automatically puts the raid marker on him, and then tracks it in here. So I can track as many as I want. So when you pull the tigers, if you do pull a cub, you just press your tab or whatever your macro is or keybind to target enemies, and it will rotate everything and find all the cubs and put them in there. And then every time you do damage to them, it's gonna reduce their health, so you can see it. There's also a reset button in case you think you pull a cub, but then it actually didn't pull. You can click reset and it clears everything. That's it. So now I'm gonna roll the clip of the pull itself. It's likely that you'll be boosting someone in here, and if you are doing so, you want to take the path on the left here, not the right path. I'll show both on the screen though. The reason is you want the boostees to be on the fountain there, so you don't need to kill them at the corner of the breach because it's really hard for us. So what you want to do to get that is you want to pull these two trolls, use a a Noggin Fogger for the slow fall, and you can pull them. You'll pull, you run to the right on top of the hill, you pull, that doesn't matter if you pull or not, but basically you want to jump to that hill there. So during this time, the people getting boosted, they can run behind where the trolls were, and they can safely go on top of the waterfall and just AFK in there. Now when you get to this place here, you want to go between this bamboo tree and the tree, and you can evade the mobs in there. Now I kind of screwed up the first time without realizing it, but you just run around and you want to be in the air, so there. If you see that position, you're golden. Now you just want to wait for them to reset, should be soon, and you want to start moving to the pool. You won't really lose a lot of time with this, because anyway you would have to wait for the Berserker to finish its pathing. And you'll see when we get to the Berserker, he's still going to be like almost at the pathing, right? So you want to climb through this hill here. And some people are afraid to pull these crocs. It's okay if you pull them, you can reset later. But there's a way to not pull them by going in between the rock and the grass. If you go in this border here, you won't really pull them. You'll see that in a bit. There we go. If you did pull them, you can reset them behind the tree a little bit further ahead, which is where we are going now. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit again. Alright, here. So you want to be behind this tree. You could reset them here as well. Now, as you can see, the Berserker is still on the way. So really, we wouldn't have lost any time by doing this. We just have to AFK and win. Now at this point, when the Berserker from here, when you see him at that bamboo tree, you want to start spamming your Noggin Fogger. That's because it'll give you enough time to get there and finally go behind it without pulling it. You also want to use your Night Fiend suit, and you mount up and you jump just behind that bamboo tree there. You could jump in the middle of the crocs because you don't get dazed, but it's just to avoid getting a little bit of damage. It doesn't make that much of a difference. Now you pull the other pack of crocs and you move to the tigers. Now, because the tigers have the cubs which call for help, I'm working on a way around that, but I haven't found yet, but I will try. But basically I've avoided pulling the cubs. And the way to do that is that these cubs are all linked with the packs, if the packs aggro, right? These are actually two divided packs, 3 on the right and 3 on the left of elite tigers. So if you just hug this wall and you pull this single tiger, only the elites of that pack aggro. This guy, and this guy, they don't. And these don't pull any cubs. And even if they do, they'll pull like 1 or 2 cubs, and that's really easy for us to handle because you can Hammer of Wrath one when he's running away for help. So then you want to jump, like mages do, to that little piece of land in there, like island, and you want to stay there and wait a little bit so that the tigers follow you through the water, not through the mountain. Otherwise they get all scattered. Now you want to go to that other corner, and you want to jump like mages do again, just on the border between the water and that island there. You pull those crocs, you pull these crocs, and now comes like the hardest bit of this pull, to be honest. So you want to come and train this, like seriously. I've died here so many times and you'll just lose all of the time that you have done pulling these mobs. So evade them in the spot I showed you before, and then come and practice this jump. It's the hardest thing in this whole thing. So you want to run in a straight line against the wall so you don't land the water. Then you want to hit that bit there. You climb up the root a bit, turn to the right, and jump right on there. So if you need, slow the video down again if you need to see it, but after like maybe 5-10 times practicing it, you'll get the hang of it. Now you want to wait for the mobs in here because you want to kind of group them together. You get those, and you come all the way to the top. Now at this point, you want to be aiming towards this bamboo tree so you can pull the other ones. And mid-air, you want to start spamming your Noggin Fucker already. You'll see that I aggro them mid-air and I start swimming with my swim speed potion to the left. Now, I've already gotten the slow fall, and that's the most important thing you need to do. So if you hadn't, you just keep spamming it. Once you get to this place, you want to do what I said before of going in the border between rock and grass. You body pull these at the very top so they don't hit you. And while you could go through the bridge, you don't really want to do that because this patrol is usually right about there. Every single time I tried with a fresh lockout, they were right about there, and the crocs would eventually pull those two trolls and I would die. So you want to jump through the middle of these two bamboos, and you will land exactly almost on land. And then you body pull these crocolisks here. They won't kill you, they can daze you, so it's fine to just body pull them until the next pack. Then you bubble right at the end, you pull those, and you consecrate. You saw that I consecrated just before I bubble, because you want consecration to end before your bubble does, so you can use the grenade to stun them and then run away. Now in here I also use Divine Favor and Holy Light to put me full health again, and I use my trinket, and then I move a little bit to the left. As you saw there, I'm just gonna pull back a little bit, because it's important to get them all in this bomb, otherwise it's really screwed. So you want to move a little bit to the left like that, so that they stack on one side. And then you do the bomb while you keep running. Then they're all gonna get stunned. If one resists, it's okay, no big deal, even 2 or 3 because you've healed with Holy Light. Now you want to run straight to the bridge. You want to jump at the point where that little bit of grass is, so you don't stay in water a long time. And now we're gonna go up there and we're gonna kill them right up there. So I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. I'm gonna leave a few consecrations on the way just for extra damage. Mana is full, it will regen anyway. Right, so now it's kind of like the killing part of here. All you want to do is this consecration dancing that we've done before. You put consecration down in the around between the middle of the point where you jump into here and the top of the bridge, around there. That's where you want to put your consecration. See, I'm gonna put it again, and you want to jump right about here. So when you reach this mud on the planks, you want to jump straight onto that corner there between the the vertical and the horizontal row. You'll see that I do that exactly there. And now, as long as your position is in this plank here, and this, if you're facing from this plank, from around the middle of it like I am, if you're facing this roped vertical one here, you can jump to the left and you'll hit exactly the right spot. So as you can see, I'm gonna do it again in a second. Crystal charge there. So as you can see, that jump there, and then right, left, and that's all you're gonna do until they die. At some point, they're going to be dispersed or scattered, and then you want to use one of your bubbles or your lip to stack them again. I'm doing that here with my Blessing of Protection. Also, if you have your trinkets up, like the chain or the Rammstein again, you want to do the same thing. So the reason for the lip, you can see here, I'm stacking them really nicely and just going back and forth and killing them in consecration. So the reason for the lip, you should try and avoid using the lip, but if you cannot, it's fine, it's better than dying. But it's a little bit expensive, and I don't need lips anymore in my pools, I don't think. Maybe I use it in this one, I don't think I did. But I generally don't need the lips anymore. If you manage to kite them well, from one side to the other. If it does get out of hand, because they do get scattered eventually, and you have no cooldown for either of those bubbles, it is completely fine to use a lip. It's better than dying and wasting time. So basically, that's all there is to this pool. I'm not even using Goblin Sappers anymore. I use Arcade Crystals instead of grenades when I'm up here in the bridge, and I try to get as much damage as I can with Consecration, with its dancing, and you'll get the hang of it. If you do fall down, one of two things can happen if you fall down. If you have a lip or an invulnerability available to you, you can try and recover and go there to the corner, bubble or lip, and wait for the mobs to come, and then you grenade him again. However, if your grenade is on cooldown and you don't have any invulnerabilities and you fall down to the water, you're dead. But after a few tries, really, I wasn't dying that much anymore or falling down. And even if I did, I found that if usually I had something, like right now I have my leap available and I don't have the grenades, but you know, it should be fine, really. I'm just gonna let the rest of the video roll in case you want to see it. Oh, actually I do leap in here. There, I had to leap because they were way too scattered. So I leap them, and then be careful because leap lasts a lot less than both of your shields. So if you do leap, you want to straight run away. So I'm just gonna let the video roll now, because basically the pool now, it's literally just back and forth killing them with consecration, and if you're interested in watching it, you can keep going. Otherwise, I'm gonna put the minute on the screen where I finish this pool, and there's a little bit of extra content, which is the mistresses next to Jindu. So if you are boosting, I would advise you not to do them, because they don't really give that much experience, and you're gonna lose like on lockout times basically. But if you are doing this solo, which is still a lot of gold, by the way, it's really worth to do the mistresses. They drop more gold than the scarabs, sorry, than the crocs and the tigers, because they also drop real coin, but they die so quickly that you can't really just farm those alone. But if you're doing solo, definitely go do them at the end. It is really, really worth it. So minute on the screen right now if you want to skip to that other pool and how you do it. Otherwise, you can enjoy the rest of the consecration dancing.
I can't hear. That spell isn't dreadful. can't loot that. I 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 can't loot that.
Okay, so here you can see how much gold we've made. The gold per hour is a little bit flawed right now because we also got 2 green items that it's assuming that we're going to sell them on the auction house, but we won't. So you have to take, I would say, maybe 15 gold out of that, maybe 20, I'm not sure. But the rest of it is fairly accurate. It also removes already the cost of the things we've used, like the mana pots, the grenades and the lips, and the crystal charges. They are really, really cheap, and I used maybe 5 during the pull, I think. So as you can see, it's really worth it, even as a solo, and it's just another farm you can do as a paladin if you're bored of lashers or sulfurak or anything else. So, but after that, like I said, you can still go and farm the mistresses, and I'm going to roll the clip for that one right about now. Now, if you're soloing this, there's something else that you'll want to do. The mistresses near Jindu, they drop quite a lot of items as well in gold. So you want to jump down here and not do that. I was trying to not get in combat with the fish. You want to be careful of the berserker, that one, that will be patrolling this road here. And there's also a couple of snakes, but you can also dodge them really easily. So what you want to do is you want to pull 3 packs of these mistresses. It's the ones that don't have the voodoo slaves. They cast shadow bolts, and those they hurt pretty much. These ones though, they're only melee and they hurt themselves. Plus they're undead, which means that we can also use our Holy Wrath to kill them quicker. So you want to run in. If this pack is there, you just melee aggro it. You won't get dazed. You get those. It's totally fine to do this circle and then go around and get these mobs as well. And then you want to go all the way back to the bridge. Now, as you can see, this berserker is back there and you cannot pass through. So what you want to do in this case is you want to wait for them to come close to you, aggro those, and then go in circles and stack them while you wait for the berserker to get out of there. So you can take a few hits, it's all fine. And you don't need to worry about these debuffs either because they're not really gonna do anything to you. So I think one more circle, and that should be it. They're nice and stacked as well. Alright, so now here, you want to go straight through this flower here. And you want to hit exactly, you want like a vertical line between you and exactly that small lower bit of grass on the hill. And you want to just jump straight up. Obviously you need to have Nog and Fogger previously, but you saw me using it. There you go, you land right there. You wait for them to come. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. And as soon as they arrive, you're going to do exactly the same thing you do with the other packs. The difference being, now you can actually bubble and also Holy Wrath. Down another crystal charge, another consecration, jump off, and you'll see that they're also doing damage to themselves. So this one, it takes like a minute to kill them, not more. I'm going to speed this up once more, just so you see the loot. So that was one consecration, basically, with a Divine Shield, and then another one now, and then I think I did 2 more consecrations and they're dead. And there we go. I'm gonna use protection and another Holy Wrath. They're gonna die there. So the reason you don't want to skip these mobs if you're not giving a boost, if you're soloing this, is because they give a lot of gold. You'll see now, but basically it took me 3.5 minutes, almost 4, to kill them. And they drop some coins, they have a really nice chance at dropping Bijous as well, they drop Rune Cloth, they drop a lot of raw silver, and sometimes they drop random green items. So you can see just these mobs here, they finished at basically 143 gold per hour of auction house, and that's no, random green drops like before. So thank you for watching. and maybe I'll upload some other Paladin farms that I found out in future videos. Cheers!